Okay, quick sound test, and we will be on the way. Right, testing 1 2 1 2. I can make that a little louder. Give me 1 second. Up. There we go. All right, let's try that again. All right, that sounds good. All right, we're going to have a little bit of a busy night, so welcome to the stream. This is, what is it, part 20 something. We are in the middle of doing an Elden Ring playthrough in order to raise funds for my wife to be able to experience a once in a lifetime thing to go to New York City in January and perform with her choir, the Morris Park Singers, at Carnegie Hall, the legendary Carnegie Hall, mind you. So they were invited out there to sing. Everything's good that way, but everybody doesn't have financial backing to be able to get out there. And as you know, the cost of things are insanely expensive. Ugh. That's where I come in. Um, this is one of the ways I know how to try and get some eyes on the fundraiser. And so, if you enjoy what you're watching, or if you enjoy just watching me suck at gaming, or dying a lot, or whatever the case, consider giving a donation. If you can, that is awesome. If you can't, there's no worries, no obligation. Do not feel bad for not being able to. However, if you do wish to do something, maybe go ahead and share the channel so that way we can get more eyes on the cause. So, with that said, we got a busy night. We're going to have ourselves a little tour. One more thing to do in this area before we are completely done, but you see we have some runes that we can use. Why don't we go ahead and use just a little bit to be able, let's get our endurance up. I want to get this to 25 for my kind of soft cap on it. I still want to get that to 60. I'd like to get that higher so that way I can use more. Uh, and intelligence can go as high as we need it to. Or I can put this into faith. 12. We could just get the base of 12 faith. So that way we don't have to rely on the... No, I'm going to go for endurance. We'll keep it easy. And besides, if I want to farm for any souls to be able to do stuff, we can do that off camera. Anyway, back to Redmane Castle Plaza, and we are going to talk to the ringleader of this festival, so that way we can advance that storyline a little bit. And I don't think I missed anybody over here. Nope. No gestures or anything of the sort. Jaren, this is the guy we want to talk to.
At last, the war festival has ended. Brave champion, you have our gratitude. The celebration was spectacular. General Radahn is surely pleased. Festering with rot and crippled by madness, all he wanted was an honorable death. Finally, my work is done. I'm no longer bound to this fortress. I have a task in mind. Old business, you could say. You wouldn't understand. May we meet again, if the fates deign it. Brave champion. It's time I went on my way. May we meet again.
All right, perfect. So that'll set off another part of the side quest that we do for Sullen a little bit later. Let's go back to the Star Scourge Verdun side of Grace. And believe it or not, in this boss arena, to the north, I think right about here, we'll say. Maybe a little farther over. I don't know why I just did that. Give me a break. I am geriatric and I need my Ovaltine. All you need to do is travel to the north because the catacombs are next to the beach. And I don't know why, but for some reason, I had the absolute worst time trying to figure out where that door was. I used to think it was under one of those columns or walls or whatever the case. Not so much. It is up kind of in this area, so we'll start a little bit off to the left. I was close. That's okay, I was close. Anyway. This place sucks. Like, absolutely and positively sucks. So it's a good thing that I spent my runes before I came in here because I have a feeling that I will probably die a couple times. Did this on a practice run yesterday, mainly because I wanted to be able to find where the items were before I went to the boss. Because as soon as you get in here, it is just going to be an absolute flusterbuck. I'm sure these guys will be able to attest. No! You have an obsession with sitting by the fire. It doesn't really matter. If you are following along, get ready for the death counter. We're going to come down here, turn around. There's a treasure chest over here for our first item. Oh, we need to... No, sir. I am not dealing with you. At least not on purpose. This looks like a dead end. Oh yeah, this is about to get messy. Get up here and get our bearings again. I believe the boss... No, that's not where the boss room is. Hey, don't follow me. There. This area is an absolute nightmare. So, I will take whatever breaks we can get. Next one is on the way to the boss switch, so let's go ahead and come up this way. Watch out for those guys. Just run. Ouch. Oof. Take whatever we can get there. That's the way out, but there's some glovewort in here that we can get. Oh, these guys are absolute jerks. If you die here, do not worry. It's just, yeah, let's go ahead and... We're so close to the game. Okay, got the materials. And the boss door is open. That's not the way we want to go. For some reason, the Scarlet Rod isn't ticking as fast as I thought it would, but that's okay. Whew. That was fun. Let's never do that again. Okay, so we got Graven Ghost. We're going to get some more Spirit Ashes, as well as a Golden Seed from the next boss. And the biggest problem here is that if you remember near the beginning of the playthrough, I had the roughest problem with the ulcerated tree spirit. Well, now, instead of lightning, it's going to be using Scarlet Rot. So maybe, as a just in case, here's what we're going to do. We'll plant that there. And now we'll get this and this ready. And we are just going to run. Run, 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 run. Okay, nobody's coming after me yet. That's good. Oof. All right. Let's get the death counter ready, ladies and gents. This is going to get messy. I'm going to get that out just in case. Actually, I don't need to. There we go. Okay, he's going to do his leap. Oh, I got the wrong one up. Getting back. Get him, Evil. Oh, we got one left, so here we go. Got him. And Engvall survived. Awesome. God, that is ridiculous. Alright. And if you think that's crazy, just wait, because we are getting into an area where we are going to get crushed. Well, I'm going to get crushed. Probably easier for everybody else. Me, on the other hand, not so much. Let's get out of here because we have a friend to go and help. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. That'll be a lot better once we get the magical, well, one of the charms that we can get, the magic scorpion charm. In the meantime, we are just hobbling.
I'm stuck! Hello? Hello? Ah, hello. How nice it is to see a friendly face. As you can surmise, I've got myself stuck in another hole. Would you mind helping me out again? My thanks in advance. I know you're the woman for the job. You know what to do, hmm? Give me a good smack from behind with something nice and big. No, don't worry about my wound sustained at the festival. I'm stuck back together good and proper. Just give it your all.
All right. Let's go ahead and do that.
Come on. Give me a good smack from behind. Please. Wait. I have a terrible feeling about this. I can feel my lower half is stuck on something. I don't think you can get me out just by hitting me this time. Let's think. Perhaps there's a way to slide me out a little more smoothly. What if I could somehow be made slippery or some such?
Well, there's only one viable way to do that. And luckily for us, we picked up the cookbook for it. All you have to do is make an oil pot. Unequip that. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, for here, we just go up to him and chuck the oil pot at him. And boom. He's good to go.
My thanks to you and your razor-sharp wits. Oh. As a token of my thanks, I'd like you to have this.
Sweet. Chicken on a stick.
Dearie me, I'm oilier than a toad. You know, there were countless oil jars back where I'm from, actually. And Now I know what it's like to be one of them. Yes, indeed. I too have a home, though it is one to which I have vowed not to return. So, I thought I might look out from atop the cliff. But as I drew closer and closer, pow, wouldn't you know it, I was perfectly stuck in that blasted hole. I can feel the warriors inside admonishing me for my mawkishness. To walk the path of champions, one cannot cleave to the past. I'm headed to the Fiery Mount in the north. I can strengthen myself there without fear of cracking this vessel. I will forge myself anew in its flames. I'm headed to the I will forge.
Perfect. So old boy is going to see if he can't reforge himself a little bit, so that way he isn't busting up or getting stuck or whatever the case may be. Alexander's awesome. All right. This is where it starts getting a little interesting. Yeah, we've already done the big stuff in here. We haven't actually been inside Fort Ferrith yet, and that's going to be a kind of another run through. But we haven't done this yet. Ah, we never went up the elevator. All right, for this next part, we're going to be hitting this Coliseum up, and we're going to be going against a couple of NPCs. To get there, go to Shaffer River and the Below the Well site of grace, and we can take the elevator up finally. I think I already used a Stolen Sword key for this, but no, I haven't. How many do I have in stock anyway? $20 of them. Oh yeah, I got plenty. Man, look at all those cookbooks. What do I have here? Gravity Stone Peddler. Okay. Should need 2 of them here. And way up we go. Yep, old girl is turning into something pretty good. However, this next part usually humbles me very, very, very much. Come over here. Yeah, we haven't beaten that room beer yet. And honestly, I have no desire to. Give me 1 second. I don't believe I need you. I'm not going to need you. Maybe there's something better that I can use. I might actually use that instead. If I have more dexterity, then my spells will get off a lot quicker, but yeah, the stamina will be perfect. 239 versus 251 yet, so, well. Regardless of the sorcery scaling there, it still ups your damage, even though it just sucks up a ton of FP. We're not going to go that way. mostly because I don't want to have to deal with the rune bear, at least not yet. Be careful when you come this way, because there will be giants that you have to fight past. But the giants shouldn't be too difficult. Did you really just fall down on me? No. There we go. Alright, one down. We got one more to go. Get yourself behind something. I'll be just fine. Waiting right here. There we go. Start breathing fire on you. Alright, good. We got him to fall down. That's that. Now keep in mind, if you lose at this next part, you will have to fight through those giants again. And that's why I hope this ends up being a one and done kind of thing. Look at the big boy jar. You can now see the Knight of the Great Jar's red summon sign. It should say signs, because in order to get the talisman that he gives, you have to beat all three of these guys. So, yeah, it should be okay. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to go with nothing but knights this time. Alright. Let's test out our Knight Comet and see how we do. Alright, death counter. How many times do you think I'm going to croak? He's got the big poise on that bad boy. Oops. This is not going to be fun. So basically, when you do these warrior jars, if you're connected online, they pull from a pool of players. I don't know if I feel like doing this now. Oh, what the hell. Okay. I don't think this is going to end well for me. He does not have a shield, which might make it a little easier, but I have a bad feeling about this ending. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was just that first one that sucked. Great Jars Arsenal, excuse me. And that's pretty much all you get here. Greatly raises maximum equip load. So if you find you're starting to fat roll a little bit more because you have so much on that you want to be tanky, that is quite possibly one of the best things that you can equip. At least until you get your endurance up more than enough to be able to handle the weight. And here's another Colosseum. I just find it odd that they have these different Colosseums, but they don't have a site of grace inside them, so that way people, if they want to do any kind of PvP, it should just be like, okay, here's a site of grace, PvP, go for it. However, that being said, if you go back to the round table, you also have the option to use this. So, I guess having the site of grace there doesn't really matter, but it is what it is. All right. I wasn't embarrassed there somehow. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to get embarrassed here in the next little bit. And my phone closed out my damn checklist again. Perfect. All right. There's one more thing in the lower section I guess we have to do. Almost forgot about it. Sell you a crystal tunnel. You will remember that we came here through a trap chest. As a matter of fact, for this, I'm going to get the meteoric ore blade up. And now we're going to have to do a kind of reverse stealth to get back up to where we were transported in. This cave has quite a bit of higher leveled stones. Nope. God, that uses so much magic. I am going to switch that out regardless. There we go. Oh, he found me. All right, from here. We are kind of safe to roam about the cabin. So let's go ahead and collect everything in here. That is a shortcut later, don't worry about that. Not too much to report on my end of things. Had a good birthday yesterday. Wife decided to get a really tasty birthday cake. Took me out to one of the best burgers I think I ever had. I regretted life for a little bit afterwards, but hey. All right, you ain't going anywhere. Anyway, one of the best burgers I ever had. And I'd been there before, but I don't ever remember the burgers being that dang good. There's a place called Shamrocks in St. Paul. I gotta drop down for that. And originally what I was going to do is I was just going to get one of the regular burgers or whatever the case, and of course, in typical whatever fashion, it made the burgers look smaller. So I was like, oh, well, you know, maybe I'll go ahead and order one of the big boys. Big mistake. Huge mistake. This burger came out just towering, and it was cooked to perfection and had a wonderful amount of cheese on there. Lettuce, tomato, the sauce, the onions, perfect. But the problem was, I couldn't touch a damn fry. The burger was so huge that by the time I got done with it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna die if I have any more, so. Don't get me wrong, that's a good problem. That's a real good problem to have, but kind of wish I had some fries too. But trust me, after having a burger that big, not even a worry in the world after that. Took about 5 minutes for me to be able to get to a comfortable state again and be like, ah, life is good. All right, coming up on the next part of this, give me 1 second. So, in here, if you're not careful, if you just run in and right around the corner, you're going to see that you'd get ambushed by that dude. And he's kind of beefy. The smart thing to do here would be to... Oh, I still have a remembrance I can use for experience too. Or I can use it to get a weapon or a spell or something like that. Let's get the bone dart out, and what I want to do... I want to kind of aim it right there. And we want to throw the dart and get back into... There we go. That worked out perfect. Yeah, because otherwise this guy, he can hit pretty good. And I am not about to play around with somebody that could probably take me out in a couple of hits. Which is funny because, unfortunately, I'm going to be entering the territory in northern Caleb that is going to be able to just annihilate me within like a hit or two. So now I got to really pretend that I'm good at this. Let's clear that out of the way. There is somebody up there. Step forward a little bit. Night Comet will take him out. There is somebody over there that you can take out. You get another spell. Nice. Couple of smithing stone 5s. Okay. Come up here and don't move. You can crouch, but don't move, and just kind of hug this outer wall here. Don't even worry about picking that up. Don't even worry about putting that down. There, a couple fire bombs take them out. So now if you run into any problems, your site of grace is down that way, through that little cave. You just come right back up here, climb the ladder, and go right over there. No, there's no hidden wall over there. There's always messages be like, hey, there's a hidden wall here. No, sir, there is not. Those guys up there will leave you alone. However, there is one behind here that you have to be careful of. Guess what you can do? This is why we have the meteoric ore blade. Gravitas. We got the pest glaive. I could have sworn we already got one of those, but yeah, apparently we do. Glaive made from a hard, sharpened shell, wielded by the pests who emerged from the swamp of Ionia. Slightly increases non-physical damage negation. Though men might recognize the keen intellect of the pests evidenced by this spear's uncanny design, it will never be understood by them. It's basically if you have it equipped, you take a little less damage. Okay, let's get this back up. There we go. All that hullabaloo in your item drop color for an Aeonian butterfly. Faithful canvas talisman. I think this increases the power of incantations. Yep. The figures represent the flock at prayer, their firm belief in the intangible, inspiring even the solitary founder of their religion. What is faith if not an affirmation? Alright, I always have a problem at this boss. Come to think of it, I always have a problem at every boss. So here's what I'm going to do. Before I even go in, I'm going to start chugging that. I'll call him out for distraction, and hopefully it'll be enough to be able to get past this guy. And summoning ball. Ouch. Ooh, a somber 6. And a bell bearing. That bell bearing in particular, we might as well go turn it in right now. There we go. That particular bell bearing allows us to start purchasing somber smithing stones. 1 and 2, I believe. Yep, so now we have smithing stone 1 and 2 an infinite supply, somber smithing stone 1 and 2 an infinite supply. This will only start helping once we can get up to 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Either way, we are building up our inventory so that way we can go ahead and if we find something, we don't have to go searching for a finite number of stones.
I took youth no matter to lay out your arm.
Let's strengthen our armament. And with this, I am going to start upping the moon veil. There we go. Because Magic Boy needs magic power. I need to refresh me. Yeah, I already got the bell bearing hunter on that one. I did that yesterday. I go my checklist to go down the list on how I prefer to go through for you guys, and sometimes I forget that I go out of order. For instance, like I said at the beginning with the meteoric ore blade, the meteor staff, and rock sling, did that way before I should have been in Kaled. And then yesterday with the bell bearing hunter. Now, I've already done Abandoned Cave for the Gold Scarab. I think I have. Yes, I have, but we still haven't picked up a couple things in there. I'll put that back on, and we'll go back to the Abandoned Cave. There are a couple of items that we can get in here. We're not going to be using a bow, so we might as well switch that out for the misery card. I'm going to have somebody French come in and be like, "That is not how you pronounce it." Next, you're going to tell me that croissant is pronounced croissant. Yeah, you do not want to roll on this. Absolutely not. As soon as that blows up, there we go. I ain't trying to get any scarlet rot down here. But if you do, Flame Cleanse Me is perfect. Look at this. I don't know why I forgot I almost had that. Oh yeah. Should also turn on my lantern, huh? Now we're going to go through this part nice and slow. Yeah, we know death is ahead. There we go. We got a serpent bow, and we should be able... Ow. Should be able to find a weapon down here as well. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I will agree with you on that, sir. We should be able to do this. Let's get to high ground because those flowers can be an absolute nightmare. Perfect. Oops. There we go. Is there anybody else trying to be silly down here? I don't think so. And now we can go... Oh, hello, sir. And then we have... this up here that we can go for. Your Venomous Fang, which is a hand-to-hand type of deal. You can throw punches and stuff like that, but I think it also inflicts poison? Yep. Cool. Alright, we're done there. We did that already. Yep, now we're getting into the not so fun part. So, Dragonboro West. We have an Everjail to clear out. Let's wait until morning. Okay, we just came from there, so no, that's not what we want to do. Perfect. Here we go. People putting messages down, huh? Yeah. Hey, good. That's really good advice. Try attacking. How about you? You could use Scarlet Rod, especially if you got X-Ike's Roar. No ranged battle. The fact that... Oh, give me a second. The fact that this guy is a mage worries me a little bit for my magic use in here, but we're still going to give it a shot. Let's do that. Okay, so magic use wasn't a problem. And we get a Spirit Ashes. Even better. Okay, now let's go back here to Dragonboro West because we are tackling the Divine Tower. Might as well get this bad boy too. So number 8. Which that should... 1, 2, 3, 4. We've already done 5 and 6 for Moonvale, so we would need 7. If we could find a 7, we'd be in great shape. Like, super good shape. See, that guy's got the right idea. And... Oh... Eh, I was kind of owing because I have a lot of runes. Enough to level up. And I have a feeling I'm going to flub this somehow spectacularly. Oh yeah, you beefy. I'm glad you just stay there and let me shoot you in the face, man. Makes it a lot easier on me. Okay, and over there is an archway to get over to. I saw somebody jump up on that branch over there. I'm gonna give it a shot. Nice. Okay. Ooh, I forgot about you. At least we got a stone sword key. Jesus. I can't believe I forgot about that guy. See, this is why it pays to read warnings sometimes. That is a very thin edge to fight anybody on. That's why it's like, okay. Every once in a while it does pay to read those messages, but a lot of other times, not so much. I'm going to use my horse to get over here. Double jump up there. I know for a fact there should be somebody over here. There we go. There. Gotta be very careful getting up there. See how thin they make these ledges? They make them specifically for people like me who just like, okay, I'll go. I guess I'll go die now. I mean, believe it or not, I might not have died nearly as much as I think I should have so far. But I am terrible at this game. I am not good at all. More endurance never hurts anybody. All right. Now, even though I've done this stage a couple of times, I've actually only beaten Elden Ring completely once. So I'm not familiar with a lot of stuff in here. And the DLC I've only beaten once. That's probably why I'm not too confident. I see everybody else do these Elden Ring walkthroughs, and they're just breezing through everything like, oh, this pattern's going to happen right now. I can bait this attack by doing this. Not me. I'm just like, the herdiger, what do I do? There we go. Behind the gate here, there is this guy. That is such a nice... Oh. Moonveil, you are an incredible, incredible companion to have. Now you could jump off here. However, you can also jump off here. And get ready. Alright, cool. Yeah, we do want to... Here's the thing. You can walk down that way if you so desire. And then use that to jump over to that. But where's the fun? I think I'll be okay if I do this. A lot of times people will be like, jump to it, but then you overshoot it, or you undershoot it, or you don't shoot it enough. There we go, just walk off. And let's see what we can do with this. Get him, that comment. Oh, it's gonna hit. I'm not sure that's a safe drop. Now, here's the thing. You don't need to jump. You should just be able to sprint off the end of this. Bam. Now we have a clear shot. There we go. Goodbye, sir. Ooh, you hit hard. There's that site of grace that we want down there. Believe it or not, descending in order to get to our goal, we actually have to use the elevator to go up. And before we advance, we are going to take this ladder and open up a shortcut back to the site of grace we came from. That way, if I die, it saves a little bit of time on finding the right place to drop, finding whatever I need there. Yeah, liar ahead. I already... There, shortcut opened. And when you get back down here, there is a beefy enemy up the hallway. Be ready, because he can... Yeah, him. There we go. Oh, he dropped something. What'd he drop? Smoldering butterfly. And a rune arc. Sweet, just in case I die. Alright, we'll step out here. And it's more of the same. Go ahead and drop right here. And we take it down to the site of grace that we spied. I am going to actually, yeah, I'm going to up the amount of heal charges I have here. There's one more of those. There we go. You can actually use the site of grace up there to farm his gear if you so desire to have it. Here's the plan. Remember all that stuff I told you to collect with Trina's Lily? Bam. Engvall's going to be out. I need to find a way to get rid of those. So we're going to use Banished Knight for a distraction. And just hope for the best. Get him, buddy. Ouch. See, he always moves like that. Now he's coming after me. He always does that. Input read. Got him. See, we're getting some serious runes in this area alone. The enemies here are pretty dang strong, and because of that, the runes are commensurate to their difficulty level. And we get actually a pretty decent weapon here, Godslayer's Greatsword. We can't use it. We don't have enough faith. Sacred Sword of the Gloam-Eyed Queen, who controlled the Godskin Apostles before her defeat at the hands of Malekith. The black flames wielded by the Apostles are channeled from this sword. Let's see. Set the blade ablaze with the God-slaying black flame before delivering a sweeping slash. Additional input allows for follow-up attack. The black flames will continue to wear down HP for a while. So, if you're looking for a decent weapon and you need a relatively low strength and dex for, but you're more on the faith side, this would be the one to go for. At least early on. I'm sure there are other better faith-based weapons out there that I am not thinking of at the time. However, that's basement. Let's go back up to the center. We still have to get the Great Rune unsealed here. And it's a lot easier to do that than it was to go into the basement and beat up on the Godskin Noble. what time are we at here? Another... You could probably do one more thing before we head off to bed. Well, before you head off to bed, I got the whole insomnia thing. That's never gonna happen. Here we go. Unsealed. There we go. Now let's check it out. This raises maximum HP, FP, and stamina. So if you need a little extra boost in those three areas, you can go ahead and use that. Radon was amongst the children of Ranala and Radagon, who became demigod stepchildren after Radagon's union with Queen Marika. The great rune burns to resist the encroachment of the Scarlet Rot. There we go. Done and done. Ooh, I know what I can do. Let's go this way. I marked an area before because it had a statue. I feel like my health keeps going down. Do I have one of those Baltic? Yes, I do. Damn Baldekin's blessing. As soon as you wear off, I will sit down at the... There we go, that feels better. How far down is that drop? I was just there, so not too shabby. Let's go. So, we want to be able to break that. But we don't know how, because we don't have anything that's really here to be able to do, or to be able to break it. Yes, you do. It is right here. Yes, it's going to be a little slow. There we go. And we don't want to get too far ahead of them. We just want to be able to guide him slowly, very slowly, because that's as fast as he can walk, and that's about as fast as I can walk over to the blue beacon over there. And we are going to take the left of the tree as we're looking at it. I guess you can go down that way. That's fine. Over here, sir. And he broke it. And to make him disappear, you can just go back this way. He forgets all about you, and he disappears. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Dragon. For your efforts, you get 5 somber... No, you get 3 somber smithing stone 5s. Cool. We are done with that. We can unmark that. Perfect. We've already been to Fort Ferreth, so we might as well go ahead and transport over there. And we're just going to run through Fort Ferreth. There's only a couple things we need there anyway. That would be the Dectus Medallion, the other half, which is pretty much useless now since we've already made our way up to the abandoned coffin over here. And we've already received the Sites of Grace to be able to get there. Doesn't matter, we're still going to collect it. And then there is also a either a Source Seal or a Scar Seal, I can't remember. Doesn't matter, it increases stats as well as ups the amount of damage you take. To do this, we can do it express. You're probably going to get poisoned here, don't worry. Well, I didn't get poisoned. Dectus Medallion, right. Now, down here it is important to only enter certain areas to be able to get back down into the main room, so kind of follow my lead. Jump down over here, run to the left. Not that one, this one. Go down. You can pick up a golden rune 12 over there. Sir, I see you. Ouch. I don't know why, but every once in a while they like sneaking down here. That's okay. We were built for this. There are 2 rats over here. And I'm hoping... Yeah, there we go. And then the big boy. Ouch. There we go. We should be able to get what we want now. Radigan Source Seal. Perfect. And what stats do these increase? Vigor, endurance, strength, and dexterity. That is okay. I'm not going to use it. Doesn't mean you guys cannot. And let's go back out. And that's it for Fort Ferret. We already took down the big Elder Dragon over here. And I think that's it for this portion of the fundraiser. So next time, what we're going to do, we're going to make our way over to the minor Erd tree over here and start working on this area. And this area kind of sucks. I've always had a problem with this area. Even the Erd Tree avatar I have had a problem with. So, I don't know, man. We're going to see how it pans out. But we have a couple of bosses. We're going to be cycling through a couple of bosses here that suck. Because we have the Erd Tree avatar. We have over here by the bridge another Knight Cavalry. Once we come back up and around this way, we have a dragon to deal with on this bridge. And for a 4th boss, and an absolute face melter for me, there is a gargoyle. And you'll remember the gargoyle. We were standing right in front of him, or behind him, when we hit up Gurank's area. Not fun. So, I guarantee you, next time, there will be death aplenty, and it's not going to be the enemies for once. Ooh, boy, that's not going to be fun. Well, it is for you, but it's not going to be fun for me. Either way, if you came in live or you're watching this at a later time, thank you for getting eyes on this bad boy. Thank you for considering either donating or sharing my wife's cause so that way she can go perform at Carnegie Hall. It's very much appreciated. And I also enjoy the company. Sometimes it's nice to be able to sit and chill with a bunch of people and just do whatever. Obviously, I'm not much for commentary on this portion, mainly because I am trying to sweep through as broadly as I can to get as much of the game done for you guys. So that way, if you use this for a walkthrough later on, you can reference kind of what I did and reference what not to do, because I know that I am definitely not the go-to for Elden Ring expertise. But you can still use it and be like, hey, don't be like that guy. Perfect. So again, thank you for showing up. Thank you for considering. If you donated, awesome. Thank you very much. If you didn't, do not feel obligated to. That is not what I want to go and do for you guys. I just like it when you guys show up, have a little bit of fun, and then you can either use this to fall asleep to because it's so boring, or you can use it to be like, hey, why do you suck at this so bad? Either way, thank you. And probably do it about the same time tomorrow night, more than likely. I think the only day this week that I am not going to be doing this would be Friday, because there is a possible birthday party for me to attend. Somebody's turning the big 4-0. Ooh, your life is over. I'm 45, I should know. Anyway, I think Friday's the only not open night for me. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Either way, my schedule is pretty much wide open. So we'll see you very soon. Uh-oh, there's sirens. Cops are coming. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Have a great night. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will see you again tomorrow. Take care.